All right, let's talk about melatonin. You've probably heard it called the hormone of darkness, which sounds pretty cool, right? But what does that actually mean? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on this amazing hormone. We'll get into what it is, how your brain pulls off this nightly release, and all the incredible things it does for your body.
So, you've definitely seen melatonin on the shelves at the drugstore, right? Maybe you've even tried it. But the melatonin your body makes, well, that's a whole different story. It's way more than just a little sleep aid in a bottle. Think of it like the star of this super precise, ancient play that happens inside you every single day. So, the big question is, who's the director? What's really pulling the strings here?
Okay, so at its heart, melatonin is a hormone. But what's really cool is where it comes from. You know serotonin, right? The famous feel-good neurotransmitter? Well, melatonin is basically serotonin's nighttime alter ego. Your body takes an amino acid called tryptophan, turns that into serotonin, and then, and this is the key part, when it gets dark, a bunch of enzymes flip a switch and convert that serotonin into melatonin. So its main gig isn't really about mood, it's all about time. It's the master timekeeper for your body's internal clock.
So, where does this magical transformation happen every night? Well, while some of your cells can whip up a little melatonin for their own local use, the main headquarters, the big factory that pumps out the melatonin for your entire body, is a tiny little gland deep inside your brain. It's called the pineal gland. It's the source of that system-wide signal that basically shouts, "Hey everyone, it's nighttime."
Right, so the pineal gland isn't just winging it. It doesn't just start making melatonin whenever it wants. Oh no, it is incredibly punctual. It's like your brain's official nightly memo sent out to every single part of your body, telling them it's time to switch gears into night mode. So let's dig into how that schedule actually works. The conductor of this whole orchestra? It's a tiny little spot in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Let's just call it the SCN, way easier. And this isn't just any part of the brain. It is the master clock. It's what keeps everything in your body running on a 24-hour cycle. Now, the SCN can't see for itself. Instead, it gets direct reports about the light outside from special cells in the back of your eyes. It's a direct line of communication that tells the master clock, hey, it's daytime, or hey, it's getting dark out here. And this whole process follows a really clear daily rhythm. During the day, when light is pouring in, the SCN is active, and it tells the pineal gland, nope, not yet. It actually inhibits it, so your melatonin levels are basically zero. But then as the sun goes down and the light fades, that inhibition gets lifted. The SCN sends out the go-ahead signal, and the pineal gland starts ramping up production. Your melatonin levels soar, hitting their peak in the dead of night. And then, the moment that first bit of morning light hits your eyes, bam! The SCN slams on the brakes and shuts the whole thing down. So what does this nightly flood of melatonin actually feel like? Well, it's a lot more than just making you feel a bit sleepy. It's a full-body announcement that it's time to rest and repair. When those melatonin levels go up, all sorts of things start to happen. Your core body temperature actually drops a little bit. Your blood pressure goes down. And yeah, you get that familiar feeling of tiredness. It's basically your body's official startup sequence for the night shift. But here's where it gets really, really interesting. You know, calling melatonin just the sleep hormone is selling it way short. It's a huge understatement. This molecule is a total multitasker. It's got a bunch of other super important protective jobs all over your body that have nothing to do with just telling you when to sleep. So besides sleep, melatonin helps fine-tune your immune system. And get this, it's also one of the body's most powerful antioxidants. It's like a little security guard for your cells, hunting down and neutralizing these things called free radicals. You can think of free radicals as these unstable rogue molecules that bounce around causing damage, and melatonin stops them in their tracks. Oh, and because it knows how long the night is, it even helps tell your brain what season it is. Pretty smart, huh? So how does melatonin actually deliver all these messages? Well, it docks onto specific receptors on your cells, kind of like a key fitting into a lock. The two big ones are called MT1 and MT2. When melatonin locks into an MT1 receptor, that's what really helps you feel sleepy and get to sleep. When it hits an MT2 receptor, it's actually talking to the master clock itself, helping to adjust its timing. In both cases, once it binds, it kicks off a chain reaction inside the cell that tells it what to do next. But this is what makes melatonin so special. See, most hormones have to bind to a receptor to get anything done. Not melatonin, not always. When it comes to being an antioxidant, it's a hands-on kind of hero. It can just float around, and if it finds a dangerous free radical, it can neutralize it directly, right then and there. And here's the kicker. Even after it's done its job, the new molecule it turns into can also act as an antioxidant. So it's not just one and done, it's a whole cascade of protection, all starting from that one little molecule.
So we have this absolutely beautiful, finely tuned system that's been perfected over millions of years of evolution, all designed to sync up with the simple rhythm of day and night. But there's a huge wrench we can throw into the gears, and it's a problem that's totally unique to our modern world.
This whole amazing nightly process, the rise of this hormone that gets our bodies ready to rest and repair, it can be stopped dead in its tracks, and it only takes one thing to do it. And we're not talking about just any kind of light here. Our bodies are super sensitive to a very specific color, a particular wavelength of light that clocks in at right around 460 nanometers. And that, of course, is blue light. When that specific wavelength of blue light hits those special cells in the back of your eyes, it sends a loud and clear signal straight to your master clock. And that signal says, it's the middle of the day. And the master clock doesn't argue. It just immediately shuts down all orders to make melatonin. So here's the bottom line. When we're staring at our phones, our tablets, our computers late at night, we are basically shining a little pocket-sized sun directly into our eyes. We're hitting them with the exact kind of light that tells our brain it's noon. And by doing that, we're tricking our brain into thinking it's not nighttime yet, which can delay or even weaken that crucial melatonin signal we need for sleep and for our cells to repair themselves. Which really brings us to the big takeaway here. This whole system is built on one simple thing: the ancient rhythm of light and dark. Melatonin isn't just about sleep. It really is the hormone of darkness. It's our timekeeper. It's a protector for ourselves. So if the blue light all around us in our modern world is the big off switch for the system, that leaves us with a really important question. What are you going to do to protect your darkness?